300 podcast. NXT TakeOver War Games 2017. The Party of Pain. The Structure of Destruction. The Match of Mayhem. 2 Rings of Terror. Oh my. I saw a War Games when I was just a wee boy. I don't remember exactly who was in it, but I went to a WCW house show. Back then, a house show would even have a War Games. I remember El Gigante was there because I was right on one of the aisles. And as a strapping 14-year-old, maybe 13-year-old at the time, I was up to maybe the guy's thigh. El Gigante, who later on achieved great success as the Giant Gonzalez. So it took NXT for WWE to finally crack and decide to do a War Games event. Probably seen TakeOver by now, and now you are familiar with what is a War Games event. Or if you're an old school straight G like me, oh God, you will know how War Games works. So basically, WWE didn't do it for a long time, and I believe from what I've heard from other podcasts, such as Jim Cornette, is they felt they didn't have a right way to shoot it, that the TV audience would not be able to follow along with the 2 rings and the 2 cages. I'm just going to say the way this was shot was fantastic, because during the other matches, you almost didn't even know that the other ring was there. How did I feel about each team being in a cage and released as opposed to just being on each side of the ring? I guess. Whatever. All right, we're going to dive right in. Real quick, preliminary matches, so to speak, I guess. Ruby Riott defeated Sonya Deville. Pete Dunne, who is a beast. Pete Dunne is a beast. If Pete Dunne is done correctly on main roster, Pete Dunne is a beast. Anyway, defeated Johnny Gargano. Okay. Lars Sullivan against Cassius. Oh no. I like both of these guys. WWE billed Sullivan as the colossal giant, a superhuman monster, the walking wrecking ball, a Mauro Ronaldo. Here's the thing. Cassius Ohno is 6'4", 270 pounds. Sullivan, who is the colossal giant, is an inch shorter, but he's got 30 pounds on Ohno. Sullivan on main roster, is he going to get eaten up like another Ryback? No pun intended. Or another muscle guy? Baracus? Heidenreich? Was that the name? Where are they going to go with Sullivan? Who the hell knows? Where are they going to go with Ohno? I don't know. Sullivan takes it. Let's move on to Aleister Black versus the Velveteen Dream. Mr. Patrick Clark. I've been a fan of Patrick Clark for a while. If you've watched Tough Enough, Patrick Clark was a contestant on the most recent season of Tough Enough. He didn't make the Tough Enough cut at the end, and we get to see how that pretty much panned out for Pat Clark and both of the winners, Sarah Lee and the Yeti. Match went 14 minutes and 37 seconds. 14 minutes and 37 seconds of fucking wrestling ecstasy. What could have been done better in this match? A $100 bill shooting out of my TV would be the only thing that would make this better. It was a great match. Velveteen Dream comes out riding the comfort line with the gold dust kind of flamboyant thing. Feels the airbrush tights with Aleister Black on one side and the Dream on the other, a la ravishing Rick Rude. Come on, this match from start to finish was great. The fans were behind Velveteen Dream. They popped big for him. They popped big for Black too. Say his name. Genius. Say my name. It's still fresh in your minds from Breaking Bad. Did you watch Breaking Bad? I sure as hell did. It's still fresh in your head. Excellent match. Aleister Black hits the Black Mass. He wins. Ends with Velveteen Dream in the ring, kind of clawing at him just a little tiny bit as Aleister Black sits in the middle of the ring. Enjoy infamy, Velveteen Dream. Mutual sign of respect. Says his name. Holy shit, that was a good match. All right, moving on. Next, we have the women's match for the vacated NXT Women's title. The 523-day reign of Asuka ended when she started negotiations with SmackDown. And Raw. All right. So we got the Pirate Princess, Kairi Sane. I'll go off on a tangent for a second. Her gimmick is that she's really into nautical stuff. Okay. Just like Duke the Dumpster Drosy's gimmick was he was a garbage man. And WCW, Firebreaker Chip, he was a fireman. So she's a pirate? Or is she just a sailing enthusiast? I'm not sure. But then Ember Moon comes out, and she's all about the Twilight series. All of them. Nikki Cross, who's probably one of my favorite NXT female performers right now. Nikki Cross is badass. So is Sanity. Love to see Sanity in full on the main roster. And Peyton Royce, accompanied quarter way to the ring by Billie Kay. Who's hotter than Peyton Royce? Fight me. Okay. Sane is hella intense, and she's damn good. She's just got a really crappy gimmick. Couple of botched spots, but overall it was a good match. Peyton with a fisherman suplex into like the bridge. 1, 2, basically 3, but the save, it was botched, but it was saved by Sane a little too slow. It ends with Ember Moon, double eclipse on Royce and Cross. Pins Cross, 9 minutes and 52 seconds. In her home state of Texas, says Mauro Ranallo. Home state of Texas, Ember Moon, finally. How long is she going to do a job for? Is now the NXT Women's Champion. At the end, Steve Regal wanders his way into the ring with Asuka. They present the belt. Everybody hugs. Everybody's happy. Yeah! Woo! All right. Next, Andrade 100 Almas with Zelina Vega against Drew McIntyre. This is a pretty good match. I'm not going to recap the whole thing because you've watched it. You've seen the highlights, or you really don't care about hearing me explain it. And you know what? That's fine by me. Because we're getting through this quick. We got like 32 more hours of wrestling still to talk about with Survivor Series and their 52-hour pre-show coming up next. So Andrade beats Drew McIntyre. You know what that means. You know what means what's coming next. Reunion, baby! Woo! Probably not so much. All right, so now it's time for the War Games. The Undisputed Era. The Authors of Pain, featuring Roderick Strong and Sanity. Wasn't the best War Games I've ever seen. Although I'm not exactly looking for these guys to be grated up like a cheese grater and to be bleeding all over the place. Although there was blood, it was still kind of a dumbed down version of the War Games, I think. My opinion, I think. Good spots. What did you think? Go on the network and look up some other War Games. Go up WCW, click. Go down, you go as far as I think 89, 89. Watch a couple War Games matches. Tell me what you think. Basically, the Undisputed Era defeated Authors of Pain, Roderick Strong, and Sanity. Which is fine. Pushing Cole. Pushing Fish. Pushing Riley. Authors of Pain, are they ready now? Are the Authors of Pain ready to come up and put a little spice in the tag team division? Do you think so? I don't think so, for the simple fact that the Authors of Pain are going to fall into the same category as the Ascension. I can see the Authors of Pain and the Ascension and Breezango in like a 3-way shower cap wedding gown match a year from now. Sanity. I'd like to see Sanity on main roster done right. All 4 done right. I would take NXT TakeOver. I'm doing this podcast after Survivor Series because there was just too much fucking wrestling to watch to be able to break off and do this podcast. But I would take NXT TakeOver, War Games, over the Survivor Series. Fight me. 9900 Podcast, that's it for right now for NXT TakeOver. Hope you all have a fantastic week.